the whole civil rights, the whole civil rights, the whole civil rights hustle is an old hustle. It's an old hustle, and it's a hustle that has put us or has gotten us to where we are today, where we have young brothers and sisters out here starving for real information that could empower them, because they can't get it at the HBCUs because they're all owned by old white family trusts. They can't get it in the black church because, unlike my generation, these young folks have realized that these reverends are talking out both sides of their mouths and their necks. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So now you got young brothers and sisters out here starving. This is why the internet is so empowering. And this is why so many young people listen to me. See, I get black folks my age and older, they listen to 5 minutes of this, they going about their business because they realize that I ain't on here clowning around, which is what they expected me to do. They expected me to be on here clowning and acting silly like most adult black men do. Or they expect me to be talking about some old church Christianity bullshit. And once they don't hear any of that, they get pissed off and tune out. Understand where I'm going with this? And by the way, if those of you on Facebook Live and YouTube haven't been able to hear me, it's because I had this jack in here, this speaker jack in here for the past, I don't know how many minutes. So some of you probably have probably not been able to hear me. Hopefully you can hear me now on Facebook Live and YouTube. Hold on for a second. YouTube, let me check with YouTube and see if they can hear me. They should be able to hear me now also. But the black reverends, all they want to do is continue to have you come to church and waste your time. They want you to come to church and put your money in the offering plate so they don't have to go and work in corporate America like a lot of us have to do. And while you're, struggling with the possibility of you losing your job at any minute, the reverend's sitting up there chilling and driving a brand new Benz. Do y'all really see where I'm going with this? That's why I tell brothers all the time, don't ever put no reverend in front of me. Don't have put no lying ass reverend in front of me. Okay? Because they're going to get cussed out. Because the reason why we have gangs and urban blight from South Central LA to New York City to Southside Chicago to Philly, West Philly to West Dallas, Fifth Ward, Houston, Liberty City, Miami. The reason why we have the same old story in all of these major and medium-sized cities around the U.S. is because the black church has sold us out. The black reverends have sold us out. And the civil rights generation has sold us out. The John Lewises. John Lewis is more concerned about Hector and Juan and Sancho and Maria and them down at the border getting separated from their children then with people who I might add broke into this country illegally. They're more concerned. The Black Caucus is more concerned about these illegals than he is about his own people. And that's something that shouldn't be lost on you. We don't live in a post-racial society. We had 8 years of Obama, and we had the Flint water crisis. We had now Detroit Public Schools is having a lead water crisis. The city of Detroit went belly up and bankrupt under his tenure in the White House. And remember, like I said earlier in this broadcast, presidents are selected, not elected. The voting process is merely a symbolic popularity contest that is designed to make Americans think they have a say in the operation of their government. And you do not. You do not, like you think you do. People are starting to wake up somewhat under Trump's tenure, but you should have woke up before him, because Trump is just a symptom of a more serious problem. People want to act. You got a lot of black folks running around this country trying to act like Donald Trump it's because of Donald Trump we got racism in America. No, we've been had racism in America before Trump. And if you think that Trump is because of Trump we're having all these race problems, you're a damn fool. By the way, what we're going to do at this point, because we had some technical difficulties with Facebook Live and YouTube Live. What I'm going to do is shut down blogtalkradio.com. If everybody on Facebook and everybody on YouTube, if you're not able to hear, if you weren't able to hear the first 36 minutes of this broadcast, go to blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show so you can listen to the first part of the broadcast. Everybody that's on Facebook Live and everybody's that's on YouTube live stream, remember, you missed about 35 to 36 minutes of this broadcast. So in order to hear that part which you missed, please go to blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show and listen. Now, it's going to take a minute for them to upload this. So it usually takes a couple hours, maybe probably about 2 or 3 hours. And so you can go back and listen to this. And that way you can get caught up, because obviously the first 35 minutes of this broadcast is a wash. So I'm going to shut down Blog Talk Radio at this point. But if you want to watch it, if you want to listen to it, go to Blog Talk Radio/The Iceman Show. And then from that point, wherever that ends, then you pick it up here on Facebook Live and YouTube. Let me go ahead and shut down Blog Talk Radio. Okay, that's a done deal. Okay. If you cannot hear me on Facebook Live and YouTube, let me know. Okay. Otherwise, if I'm seeing things going the way they're going at this point, I am confident that you can hear me. But the fallacy of a post-racial society is what we have right now. We have this fallacy that Trump is the cause of all our racial problems. It's just like Dave Chappelle said today. He said, look, Donald Trump did not cause this tsunami of racial violence and racial animus. He is merely riding the wave of it. See, people think that because Barack Obama was in office for 8 years, that fooled a lot of people. But what people don't understand is Barack Obama hates to this day, he hates black folks. He don't consider himself to be an American black person. He think he better than you. And if you really listen to some of the stuff he says and watch his actions, that's not lost on you. I've heard white people talk about this stuff. They say, oh man, that guy's a phony. And at first I didn't, you know, I was cautiously optimistic when Barack Obama got selected. Because what you have to understand with the Barack Obamas and the Andrew Gillums and the Stacey Abrams, if white society, if the Democrats or the Republicans are presenting a black person to you, you ought to be afraid of them. You ought to think to yourself, what's the end game here? Because Caucasian, let me tell you about these white supremacists that run your country. They're not gonna put anybody in front of you who they think is gonna do something to stamp out white supremacy. Remember that. So if they present to you a black man or a black woman who's running for Senate or Congress or state representative or mayor or governor or whatever, if they're presenting that person to you, you ought to be questioning why that is. Because you ought to be thinking to yourself, this guy's compromised. I don't care if that person does have a black wife or a black husband. Look, let me explain something to you. There's a book out, and I believe there's videos on YouTube called the Obama Deception. You ought to look at that. You ought to go get the book Confessions of an Economic Hitman that talks about how the CIA goes around destabilizing economies and wrecking governments and assassinating leaders and then putting little puppet leaders in there and then putting these countries in a position where they have to borrow money from the IMF, which is also an arm of white supremacy. And then these African countries, they give them stipulations. They say, well, okay, if you take these $1 billion and these $3 billion in loans, the stipulation is you can't trade with the country next to you. So if the country next to you is Ethiopia or Djibouti or South Africa or another country, guess what? You can't trade with them. Otherwise, it's considered you are defaulting on that loan. And you will have to pay back the face value of that loan. See, this is the information that you're not going to get on MSNBC and CNN and all these so-called left-leaning so-called cable news networks that claim that they got your back. Well, they got Sharpton on there, so they must not be racist. Okay, MSNBC. The NBC is the same channel that about probably about 20 years ago, they put a video up on Dateline of Al Sharpton buying 2 keys of cocaine from an FBI agent. And you gonna sit up here and tell me that Sharpton is about the people, is a man of the people? Nigga, get out my face. Get out my face. You gonna sit up here and tell me Jesse Jackson is a man of the people? Man, if you don't get the hell out of my face with that shit. We just had this discussion last week about Stacey Abrams and Andrew Gillum down there in Florida. If the if the Democrats or the Republicans are presenting a candidate to you, you ought to be looking at them funny style. You ought to be like, this nigga's bought and paid for. That's what you ought to be saying. Otherwise, why are they up there? And all of a sudden, they just magically beating the shit out of their white counterpart who they running against in racist ass Florida? How many of y'all live in Florida? I've been to the state of Florida probably about 4 or 5 times. I have never seen levels of that level of racism. I've seen it, but I was in denial like a lot of you are. I was in denial about white supremacy back then. And like a lot of you black men, I spent my time running through as many women as possible. I was into intersectionality, sex with non-black women. And then one day I had to wake the fuck up, which is what a lot of our people fail to do. And I had to realize that the best thing for me is to educate my people, because nobody educated my ass. We got too many black men clowns out here running around talking about alpha this and Q that and kappa this and iota this and sigma this. And ain't none of these niggas are building any kind of legacy and creating resources to pass on to their kids, to the next generation. I'm seeing more and more young black men out here, homeless out here on the streets all over the country. Why is that? Because there's no resources for them to manage, because black folks are falling down on the job when it comes to parenting. Black people raise their children like you take care of a dog or a cat. White people, Caucasian people groom their children for success. There's a difference. You can't groom your child for success without also passing them resources so that they don't struggle. Now, again, those of you who want to challenge me, you can make the argument to a certain degree that, well, what about the poor whites? They're not passing them no resources. Yeah, that's true. But they have something, they have an ace in the hole that you don't have, which is what? White supremacy. At the end of the day, they got pale skin, social currency. What do you have? Nothing. And we're at a critical point in American history where black folks it's clear they're trying to eliminate us off the face of the earth. Now, shooting us and killing our kids and our women and our children is scaring up some black folks, but that ain't gonna scare all of us. You have to understand something. The reason why people have not risen up and overthrown the United States government is because they make sure that all the races are fighting and feuding with each other. The game is to make all of us believe that the other group is the problem. Okay? They tell Mexicans, hey, the reason why, hey, your problem is, hey, these black folks are the ones in your way. You take care of that. Then they, they bring Vietnamese over here. They tell them the same thing. Right on, Last Crucible. The revolution will not be televised. Do you know it's taken me 50 years to figure out what Gil Scott-Heron was talking about? He was talking about he wasn't talking about black folks being filmed, being anarchists. That's not what he was talking about. The revolution he's talking about is economic revolution. Because you can't have a social and a political revolution without there first being an economic one. You got to cut the money off first. You got to starve them all out first. See, right now, white corporate America is getting your money without even working for it. And when these folks take that wealth, when they get ready to die, they take that wealth and they pass it on to their children, which becomes what? Unearned, what do they call it? Unearned income. Unearned income is income derived without working for it. These are assets that accrue in value as time progresses. If you look at a chart, the assets are accruing in value, generational wealth. Exactly. Thank you, Apple Cider. Generational wealth, which is something black men especially don't give a flying fuck about passing on to anybody. Hell, my dad was such a selfish son of a bitch. He wouldn't even sell our childhood home to none of his kids. That's how sorry his ass was and is. That's why I don't deal with his ass. Black men would rather kiss the white man, the tip end of the white man's dick for 30 years for a job and Huckabuck and Bojangle up in the, do the running man up in the office while all the white folks say, hey, Tyrone, why don't you do the funky chicken? I remember when I was a kid, every time you come in contact with white people, the first thing they would say is, hey, why don't you do the funky chicken? That used to make me want to knock their ass out, even when I was a kid. Because that shit was so racially violating. Don't ask me to do no goddamn dance, you son of a bitch. See, the problem you got to understand something. These lying-ass reverends, their main goal is to keep you calm and keep you coming to church and dropping that money in that offering plate so they ain't got to go out and work like you do. That's why when I talk to my audience on YouTube, I tell them, I say, hey, man, the information is free. My time ain't. And as you guys already know, those of you who've been listening to my show more than once, you know I'll cut my YouTube show off if we don't raise a certain amount of money. Because some of these guys been listening to me I've been doing this show officially and unofficially for the past 8, almost 9 years. That's the power. Let me tell you something about the new black media. The new black media ain't Politics Nation with Al Sharpton on MSNBC. It ain't my frat brother, Rolly the Boule Bird, Roland Martin. Black folks are getting, see, you got to understand something about these young, see, a lot of these, I noticed Karen Hunter with old snake that old flat butt snake. A lot of these old black guard, old civil rights types, you know, Karen Hunter ain't that old though, you know, but she still subscribes to that old guard. All the, you know, the Karen Hunters and the old guard, that civil rights generation. A lot of them been talking real foul about these blacks that went to the White House for that leadership conference. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. And they've been calling them sellouts and all of this kind of stuff. And they're just saying a lot of real disrespectful stuff. And you could characterize them as a bunch of coons and mammies, because a lot of them are kids of African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants. A lot of those black kids that were at the White House this past week, a lot of those ain't American children. A lot of them are because a lot of these Caribbean blacks and some of these, not all, but some of these Africans that come over here, a lot of them are coons. If y'all look at 90 Day Fiance and y'all see how that Nigerian dude was acting, he got a picture of Donald Trump in his little hut. That's a coon. He's a coon. Especially, and yeah, I know he's trying to finesse that ugly, abhorrent looking, sagging deputy dog face, flat butt woman that's trying to marry his ass. I know he's finessing that woman, but so what? I couldn't be seen in public with her. But a lot of those young blacks that were at the White House, they're first generation Americans. And I'm not saying all of those Africans, and I'm not saying all of Caribbean folks are prejudiced against American blacks, but a lot of them do have a certain feeling, feel a certain type of way for American blacks. They think they're better than us. That's how they got over here, because they get interviewed before they get a visa to come over here. So if they don't if they don't talk like a coon, they don't come over here. If they sound like they might be revolutionaries, because I remember when I was in my MBA program well over 20 years ago, there was a Nigerian dude in my MBA program, and this guy had a jerry curl. I mean, he had a really good jerry curl, but it was still a jerry curl. And I was just like, I mean, he was a little too nice to white people. And I was just like, I stopped hanging around him because of that. I stopped dealing with him because he was an ass kisser. I mean, he was cool with me, but still, just some of the stuff he was doing, how he was moving, and some of the assholes he was buddying up with, I was like, man, I don't deal with that dude, Dave, man. That dude's a white supremacist. Like, why you dealing with him? And he'd be like, oh, Dave's okay. I'm like, man, that dude, you ain't been in the States as long as I have. I know a white supremacist when I see one. That dude's a racist. And this is some old Southern Baptist private school, so you can imagine the racism I had to deal with at that school. But I also dealt with white supremacists at the University of Texas where I got my master's in social work from. So it's not just that this school is private or this school is public, because you got white supremacists in academia all over the place. Matter of fact, I would venture to say most of them are white supremacists. Because white folks won't even come to class and still get an A. You come to class every day, take all the tests, write all the papers, and next thing, and they like, well, I don't like the view. I don't like the angle you took in this paper. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. So you know what I used to do? I used to get physically threatening with them motherfuckers. So if I had to go to their office, I did like this. I would go like this, right on their desk, and get right in their, not too far from their face, and be like, look at Dr. So-and-so. You know, I could smell a bit of bias in your voice. You might want to revisit that paper. I've done that. Next thing you know, I'm getting an A on the paper instead of getting a B minus. But it wasn't because I didn't deserve it. I deserved it. But it's just that I don't write, like I wrote this book. Here's my first book right here, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. I wrote this book 3 years ago. And I talk about white supremacy, everything from white supremacy to dating in this book. You can get this book at asktheiceman.com. or you can get this book at Amazon.com. It comes in, you can get it in paperback form, but you can also get this directly from me, or you can go to Amazon.com and get the tablet or Kindle version. Okay, I talk about all that stuff in here, and I'm working on my second book, The Dating Bible, right now. But if you ain't got this book, you need to go get it. But I talk about that kind of foolishness in there. I don't write in a fluffy style. My writing style is direct. And a lot of those professors don't like that. You ain't gonna sit up and give me no B+ when I know damn good and well I should have got an A. You're gonna have to explain to me right here why I didn't get a grade. Because you can be a badass in front of 30 people when you sitting in front of a 5'7.5", 210-pound dude, all muscle. You ain't gonna be the major badass you pretend to be. Fuck out of here. But these young brothers and sisters out here, as coonish and mammyish as they may be and sellout as they may be, you still need to ask the question, why are they taking that angle? Why man, I'm serious. I've seen, I don't know how many black men young black men under 40 talking with on their Facebook page talking about Trump 2020. You know why that is? Because they sick and tired of the Democrats offering up nothing but social programs like welfare. You have to understand the reason why you ain't getting too much complaints from black women is because a lot of these black women have raised their children on these social programs like welfare, TANF, SNAP, WIC, and Section 8. That's why number one reason why black women hate Trump is because he's closing a lot of them projects. He's already closed some in Virginia. New York City is supposed to be, somebody said to me on my live stream that they were closing a couple of projects that have been open to, that black folks have been living in since the late 1950s. They need to close that shit down. Black folks need to learn. See, let me say this to you, and I hope I piss a lot of you guys off. Listen to me when I say this. There is no way you can sidestep white supremacy. There's like George Clinton said in One Nation Under a Groove, there's no way over it. There's no way around it. No, there's no way under it. You either gonna have to deal with it and fight or get slaughtered, because that's what we're dealing with today. Richard Spencer said straight up in the movie Race War, I don't give a fuck about what's moral and what's ethical. He said, what I care about is winning. Black folks like to lose gracefully. There's nothing graceful about losing and getting your ass kicked. I don't want to hear nothing about we marched to Selma. We walked from Selma to Montgomery. I'm tired of hearing that shit. These young brothers and sisters don't want to hear about that civil rights shit. They want to know when you going to get an AK, nigga. When you going to hand me an AR-15 so I can fight these white supremacists? Because they're armed and we're not. That guy, that white supremacist in Kentucky, do you know that asshole tried to go in a church and shoot up some black folks before he shot them 2 black people in Kroger? Did y'all know that? He was seen on the security camera trying to open the doors of the church. And he had an AR-15 on him. And you think I'm gonna sit up there? I'm gonna sit up there and listen to some goddamn reverend talking about, man, we need to stand down? Fuck you, nigga. We gotta push your ass out in front of everybody so you can get shot with your scary ass. The problem with black men today, we got too many old scary niggas out here. Niggas that sat on their ass and chase white pussy for the past 30, 40 years. And now these niggas ain't got shit to show for anything other than a bunch of stories talking about, man, fuck these 2 white girls, man. I'm like, nigga, are you fucking kidding me? This is my legacy right here. This is the start of my legacy. Here's my goddamn legacy right here. I don't have all my keyboards out over here. All my keyboards out. You see there's my bass and my guitar right there. And there's 2 of my keyboards. I got more keyboards in there than I don't even have set up. Nigga, I got CDs of me writing and performing music. I just showed you my book. That's my fucking legacy. What's your legacy? Talking about how much ass you got? Fuck out of here, nigga. That's why Tamir Rice got killed by 2 racist ass cops. That's why Rakia Boyd got killed. That's why Michael, what's his name? The young brother in St. Louis got shot in the eye by that race soldier. Laquan McDonald. Should I go on? Sandra Bland got murdered in jail. The reason why they're doing that stuff, because they ain't got no fear of what you gonna do to them. Because they know all you're gonna do is go out there and march till your feet till you get holes in your shoes. That's why I'm gonna write a book. When I get done with the Game of Life according to the Iceman Volume 2 book, I'm gonna write a book called I Marched for Civil Rights and All I Got Was Sore Feet. I'm gonna write that book. And I'm going in on the civil rights generation, how they sold us out the past 50, 60 years. Money. Don't nothing move but the money, dog. Without economics, you ain't got shit. Let me show y'all something, a real simple little diagram that I put on a sticky note. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. It says economics at the bottom, politics, and then social. That, you know, that's we're talking about the society. Okay? Notice economics are at the bottom. Can y'all see that? Economics is at the, you know why economics is at the bottom? Because without economics, you can't control politicians and you can't control society. Okay? Maybe you can see it now. If you try to see, black folks think they can vote their way out of white supremacy. If you try to jump up to these other two levels and you haven't taken care of the economics part, what's going to happen? Bloop. No foundation to fall back on. You go way up here, what happens? Bloop. But see, if you got a sub-economy set up for your people, if you fall down here, hey, I'm only going to fall here. And then I could get my weight back up and go back up. You see that? See, economics, see, when you have an economy to be reckoned with like Asians and Jews, you can control your politicians. Okay? That means you can reward and punish them if they don't do your bidding at the state capitol or in DC. See, other races of people don't sell they race out. They don't sell they group out like black folk. The reason why black people get away with the shit that they do, the reason why Al Sharpton can do what he does and Jesse Jackson can do what he does and all these other reverends out here can do the shit that they do, the no good shit they can do. The reason why black women can go out here and be disloyal and disingenuous with black men is because there's no punishment mechanism. They know they ain't going to get punished for it, individually or collectively. So that's why black women are so out of control with black men, because they know you ain't going to do what they like. Nigga, what you going to do? What you going to do? You don't control nothing. When I get my lights cut on and off, who does it? White zaddy does it. White mommy. When I get my rent paid with Section 8, who's paying it? White zaddy and white mommy. When I go to my bullshit ass job, who's paying my paycheck every 2 weeks or every week? White zaddy and white mommy. So nigga, why am I gonna sit here and listen to your ass? That's their attitude. And black men don't get it. Man, why are these black women so disrespectful? Because of what I just said. All their resources, or the resources they're allowed to use, comes from them. And since your black face ain't on it, they like, I ain't gotta respect you, nigga. And if you think you can skip over here and get with Becky and think you're gonna get treated better, you a fucking fool over there too. Because Becky ain't gonna fuck with you unless you got some paper. She ain't gonna fuck with you unless you got some paper. Shit. Here we go with this shit with Facebook. Here we go. God damn it. I knew they was gonna do that shit. Fuck. Hey, y'all, Facebook, give me a minute, man. Let me get YouTube, let me get Facebook back up, and then we'll go ahead and get going here. By the way, this is this is $5 Tuesday. Go to asktheiceman.com to donate. Let me go ahead. not toilet paper. YouTube, hey, you guys hit the like button, man. Come on, what's up with y'all, man? All these people, these hundreds of people in the place. Come on, man, hit the like button. All right, Facebook, we're back. As I was saying, this is the Real Talk Express. You know, we don't have Step here on the Iceman Show podcast. We don't have Step on here. Somebody added me to this silly ass Facebook, silly ass Facebook group talking about black men with fly rides, fly boats, and fly planes. I'm like, if you niggas don't quit, niggas just stop. It's that kind of bullshit why we're in the condition we're in today. It's that kind of bullshit ass thinking. But as I was saying before Facebook crashed, black men have spent so much time, my father's generation, and they have spent so much time bullshitting that now we're sitting ducks. You understand me? We're sitting ducks. You can't, economics drives everything. You can't breathe air in this country for free. You can't be homeless for free in this country. That's going to cost you something. That's why these homeless people are always out here hustling and stealing, because you can't even be homeless for free. And yeah, you got a lot of these old niggas that get mad at me. They don't like me talking about this kind of stuff. They don't want to hear this. They don't want to get this work. A lot of these old black men and women my age and older, they don't want to get this work because they know I'm telling the truth. Wasting time going to church, serving a white Jesus and a white God that doesn't exist. If you let Sharpton and Jackson and the rest of these no good reverends that have been selling us out for the past 50, 60 years tell it, all we got to do is wait on white Jesus. He never failed me yet. Let me put on the breastplate of righteousness. And then as soon as you put it on, that white supremacist with that AK or that AR-15 is going to shoot you right here at center mass while your dumb ass is sitting up here talking about you wearing the breastplate of righteousness. We sound like fools. Oh, scary niggas. Got too many scary niggas out here. I don't want to hear shit about no goddamn civil rights. Black people, let me tell you something, man. These civil rights niggas have been selling us out so long. I think even they are sitting here thinking, damn, I can't believe we've been selling that bullshit all this time to these niggas. Come on, y'all. $5 Tuesday. Let's get it popping. We only had one person donate. Do y'all want me to shut this off? Come on, man. Y'all talking that bullshit. Hey, put that $5 up. Put that 5 spot up. Fuck all the talking shit in the chat room. Put that $5 up, Negro. Niggas talk a lot of shit. Put your money up. Put your money where your mouth is. Niggas love to talk. We got too many bullshit niggas out here. See, I expect black women to be bullshitters because women ain't supposed to be running your community. You are. The men are. The men are the ones that set the tone in everything. Men build societies, not women. That's why they gonna never be no woman president in this country. And if we do have a woman president, you might as well just say, man, fuck it. Fuck it. Shit. I don't want no woman president. And if you thought that Hillary had a chance to win, you a fucking fool. Hillary wasn't gonna never be president. You ask most white women in this country, who would they rather have, Hillary or another white man? They will tell you a white man, because Hillary ain't presidential material. Just because she was the first lady for 8 years, that don't make her don't mean she's gonna be a good president. But these civil rights Negroes have been selling us out and cutting side deals and getting their paper behind our backs. They've been doing this shit for 60 years. It's time to move on from that civil rights bullshit. It's time for brothers to get back to the old school of you build your business one pencil at a time, one broom at a time, one mop at a time. And stop opening businesses and then having Mexicans working up in there. If you look, you know how many, when I go to a soul food restaurant, I always look in the kitchen to see if Sancho and them is working back there. Because if I see Sancho and them working back there, you know what I do? I walk right back out. They say, hey, sir, why you walking out? Man, I ain't helping Sancho and them have a job. I came in here because this is a black-owned, this is a black-owned business. They say, yeah, brother, it's a black-owned business. I said, no, why you got them working back there? You go to their Mexican restaurants. Do you see niggas back there working? No. Then why do you have them back there? Man, these these brothers don't want to work, man. Hire and fire them until you get black men and women who will work. Because let me tell you something. If Paula Deen can get them gate mouth, fat ass black men and women to work for her, you can get them to work for you too. Give me that bullshit. Niggas and excuses. Niggas got too many excuses. Niggas got excuses to, oh man, I can't donate ice. I just, man, I just moved. So what, nigga? I don't want to hear that shit. See, we gotta start calling these mush mouth niggas out. Look, man, let me tell you, brother, something. Let black women give excuses. Nigga, you need to be on point. You can't work. Look, brothers, the days of working jobs till you retire are over with. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. The days of working at one company and retiring is over. You are lucky if they said the average person, we talking white folks. We ain't even talking about black folks. The average American worker, whether it's white collar or blue collar, averages about at low end, they average employment at the same company of 3 to 5 years. Let me ask you guys something. Obviously, I can't see your hands. Let me ask a question of Facebook Live and YouTube live stream. How many of you are still at the same job after between 3 and 5 years? I'll wait. As I was saying before, my Facebook folks got cut off. Here, subscribe to my channel. Facebook. Subscribe to that channel there. That way you get email notifications when I'm on YouTube Live, because Facebook, for some reason, if every Facebook Live session I do, I get kicked out and I have to start over. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if, I don't know if they paying their IT people over there in Menlo Park, California at Facebook headquarters. I don't know if they paying their people or not, but something janky is going on over there. I never used to get kicked off of Facebook like this. So I apologize to the folks that had to come back and who got cut off. So subscribe to my channel, Mad Voodoo Man, and then here's my other channel, Iceman Unchained. That's my other channel. That way, you got the info right there. Okay. But we got to stop bullshitting, because these young brothers and sisters are sick and tired of hearing about the civil rights movement. They sick of that civil rights shit. They sick of hearing it. I'm gonna tell you seriously. Now, people like my daughter, she's one of these holy roller types. She don't mind hearing that slave shit, because she got that slave mentality from her mama, because her mama's a mammy and a coon, which is why we ain't together. And then two, her mama's an old hoe. And her mama's a hoe, an old hoe. Been married 6 times. You digs? So we got to get real, man. These young brothers and sisters deserve the truth. Now, I know a lot of y'all can't take the truth, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. You have a choice. You go somewhere else. You go listen to Coonan. You can watch Coonan. You can watch Mammying and Nick, and you can listen to swirl videos. You can listen to these no good, sellout, traitorous black women tell you that, your best bet is to get with Zaddy. And then after you get with Zaddy and he busts that pussy wide open, he busts that pussy to smithereens. And when he tired of your black ass and he call you nigger, he gonna go out here and get back with a white woman. What did Robin Thicke do? He went right back to white women. You can't never trust them motherfuckers, man. That's why I stopped. Remember, I used to do videos back in 2008, 2011, 2012, telling brothers to, stop fucking with these Beckys and shit. I used to do them videos. You see, I don't do them videos no more. I'd rather sit over here by myself. If I can't look, let me tell you something. If you think you can get with a Becky or one of these Mexicans or one of these Asian women, and you think you're going to get treated better than LaQuisha and them, I guarantee you'll be back dating black women by the time you get in your 40s. Because after that Asian woman and that white woman and that Mexican take all your money and treat you like dog shit, as they should, you'll be back. See, it makes racial nonsense for you to not at least try to get with a decent black woman. I know that might be an oxymoron to some of y'all, but there are decent black women out there. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're not on Facebook. They're not on plentyofat.com. They're not on OkCupid. They're not on blackpeoplemeet.com. They're not on match.com. Decent black women don't have their asses tooted up in the air and pointed up in the air on Facebook. They're not on Facebook acting like a 13-year-old white girl. They're not twerking on Facebook. They don't do that. Decent black women are not even going to be on Facebook. Hey, y'all, let's get up to 50. Let's do 50 tonight. We're at $20. Let's get to 50. Let's do 50 tonight. Come on, man. Only about two. Let me see how many people donated. Same people. Always the same people. 3 people have donated. By the way, thank you guys. The guys that donated, I appreciate it. Thank you. And by the way, Saturday we're going to be doing the Players Circle broadcast. Saturday, I think I'm gonna set the time at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Pacific time. And the topic of the show Saturday is going to be I think I wrote it down over here somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, the fallacy of interracial dating and intersectionality. That's the topic for Saturday. Okay. Let's get up to 50. Come on, man. $5. Let's get up to 50. We're already at 20. We can raise 20. We can raise 50. Black people are always under the impression that they can sidestep working together. It's not black folks. I'm telling you right now, we're digging a bigger hole for ourselves. You got black women out here think they can go get a Mexican or an Asian dude. There's black women on YouTube talking about get you an Asian man. Get the fuck out of here. Most black women can't stand Asian men. What the fuck? You got Asian women don't want Asian men. What the fuck you talking about? Go get a zaddy. You'll be happy. And then you go get with a zaddy and he calling you nigger every day. I know women in my family that were married to white males, married to Caucasian males and Mexican males. And every last one of them said their husband called them nigger. Every last one of them. And if I know these women in my family are getting called nigger by their husbands, then I know damn good and well there's a whole lot of other black women out there getting called nigger by their zaddy or by Hector and Jesus and them. Fuck out of here. Ain't nothing better than you, but better than your people in your own race. And you ain't gonna never see me promoting that zaddy shit. I would never tell a black woman to go out here and get with another race of men. Even if she has had a string of no good black men. I'd say you need to pick better men. The problem with a lot of black women is black women are taught to pick black men based on looks and how big his dick print is, instead of picking a man who you can build a life with, build a legacy with. Very few black men and women come together and build a legacy. Very few black men and women build a legacy together. Very few. The Iceman Unchained is on there. It's probably Iceman Unchained, not the Iceman Unchained. I think it's Iceman Unchained. Yeah, it may have been. It may have been. It may have been taken down because I. Oh my God! Here they go again. Man, these people kill me with this bullshit, man. This is getting out of hand, man. I swear to God, this is getting out of hand. This is a third. It's like every time I do a broadcast on Facebook, man, they kick my ass off of here. This is the third. This happens every time. I don't know what's wrong with these fools. Don't make no damn sense. Black men and women, we cannot sidestep working with each other, building an economy, and dating and marrying each other. There's no way out of it. You either gonna do it or you're gonna cease to exist. That's what's on the table today. Total elimination off the face of the earth by these white supremacists. There's no way around it. There's no black folks. There's no way around supporting your people. If you have something that you want me to support, send me an email. If you got a business, send me an email. I ain't talking about no side hustle. If you got a real legal business where you're actually doing something, I don't give a shit if you sitting up here painting old ladies' toenails. If that's what you do and they paying you to do it, then nigga, let me know so I can let everybody else know so they can support you financially. Because if we look, people, if you are such a jealous, stingy, selfish, cheap ass nigga who can't donate $5 and $10, what does that say about you, man? There's a black veteran. He's a World War II vet. He lives in Austin, Texas. When he was getting ready to lose his house, no, they weren't gonna lose his house. He was going to lose his independence because they said he's too old to live on his own. So they said they got to hire, I guess, a health aide to come by and check on him, cook it, help him with his meals, help him get, he can get dressed. He can do all. He said, I don't really need no help getting dressed. He said, I just need a little help getting in and out the tub. I need a little help sometimes with cooking. But he said, I can do everything else. He was sitting on the porch just chilling, smoking his cigars, 110 years old. Ain't sick, nothing. And his great cousins and grandkids, see, all his kids are dead. So his younger nephews and nieces, they're the only ones that can look after him, but they can't look after him during the day because they got to go to work. So they got to have somebody come by and check on him. So they was seeking donations. I sent them some money. I didn't even hesitate. And they ended up raising $300,000 because of that. So now he's able to live independently, and they have enough money to pay somebody to come by there and help him out during the day. We have to get off this bullshit of sitting up here being jealous of each other, trying to tear each other down. I grew up in a household where tearing people down was customary because my parents came from that type of environment. You understand me? A lot of us come from that environment. A lot of us come from that environment where it's okay to shit on each other. So you have to understand something. Black people like to live under the cloud of delusion. We like to believe that we can buck dance and clown and bojangle our way out of being subjugated. Now, you might be able to buy yourself 20 years at a company, buck dancing and cooning, if this was 30 years ago. But today, buck dancing and cooning and mammying and Negro bedwenches ain't gonna save your job. They'll throw your ass out of there just like they'll throw my militant ass. They'll throw me out of there. They'll throw you out of there. Might even throw your ass out of there before they throw me out. I remember one time I had this, when I was living in Michigan, I had this job at this warehouse. And I was known as the militant brother. So the black supervisor told everybody, told all the black employees don't have nothing to do with me, because I was going to end up getting myself fired anyway. Guess what? The two of them niggas got fired before I quit. I quit. I didn't get fired. I quit. I quit when I felt like it. When I was ready to go back to college and get my bachelor's degree, that's when I quit. I didn't get fired. Them niggas got fired. So I had guys when like a year or so later saying, man, I didn't, some of them guys didn't pay no attention to that black supervisor. They was like, fuck him. You my boy, man. We boys. But some of them niggas stopped talking to me. I said, man, how can them niggas stop talking to me? Man, Clyde told him to stop talking to you. Talking about you gonna end up getting yourself fired. Did I get fired? No. Look, let me tell you something, man. When it's all said and done, I'm the nigga to bet on. The nigga that's running his mouth talking shit, but ain't no action behind his words. Go ahead and run behind that nigga and see where you end up. Niggas love to follow niggas like that, running their fucking mouth. Ain't got shit to say other than shucking and jiving and grabbing their dick and talking, man, look at all these white girls we fucking. Nigga, if you don't get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. Nigga, talk to me about how we can get this money. Talk to me about how we can build a legacy for the people, for the generation coming behind. Look at this fucking shit. Here they go again, kicking me out. I'm telling y'all, man. Better bet on black. You got all these black folks pinning all their hopes, to this Andrew Gillum guy, this Stacey Abrams. And I told y'all the other day why she's so popular. She looks like Aunt Jemima. She looked like a mammy. That's why she's popular. And people can twist that shit any way they want. I mean, you know I'm telling you the truth. If Andrew Gillum and Stacey Abrams are a shoe-in to win their races, what does that tell you? Huh? What does that tell you? That's somebody, if the white supremacists in the Democratic and Republican parties put these niggas up here in front of you, you ought not even be following them, because they ain't gonna do shit. Look, Andrew Gillum, once he becomes governor of Florida, they'll still be stand your ground, and niggas will still be getting killed by race soldiers. So you go ahead and pin your hopes to some black politician if you want to. That nigga ain't gonna do nothing for you, just like the white ones ain't gonna do nothing for you. Come on, YouTube. What the fuck y'all doing, man? We still at $20. What's up? Y'all need to quit bullshitting, man. There's several hundred people in here. And y'all can't come up with $5, man. Stop bullshitting. Y'all need to quit bullshitting, man. What my solution is, sir, if you got to ask me what the solution is, no matter what I tell you, you won't believe it anyway. Because I've been giving you solutions for almost 2 hours now. So if you have to ask me what's my solution, then you really don't want to hear the real answer anyway. See, brothers, you have to understand something. When you get these black men out here, these old black men my age and older, talking about what's your solution? Well, we know what the solution isn't, don't we? We at least know that, don't we? See, these black folks think if they unfriend me on Facebook, that's solving the problem so they can go back to being delusional. See, all other groups in this country practice group economics. They lift each other up with their own dollars. Black people are the only ones who don't do that shit. We're always co-opting everywhere else. You got black women over here trying to be white girls. Oh, I'm over here with Becky and Zaddy and them. Oh, I'm over here with the Asians. I'm over here with the Hispanics. Meanwhile, all your shit is going to hell because you ain't tricking your money off on our shit. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So when you get black men and women who say, well, what's your solution? What you doing? My solution is I own 2 black-owned businesses, and I don't work for white folks. That's my solution. That was my individual solution. Get my own, build my own business, build my legacy. You cannot build a legacy working for white folks, black folks. You got so many black folks that want to be on the corporate plantation and get that gold watch. You ain't never getting that gold watch because you ain't going to be at that company that long. And you're going to have to take that 401k money out and you're going to have to live off of that. And maybe in a couple of years, you might find another plantation job. Meanwhile, you just spent whatever 401k money that you've been putting aside. Now what? That's why you got black folks. I'm in my mid-50s. You got black people my age, young bloods. You got black men and women my age don't even have $10,000 in their 401k. And here they are approaching 60. Did y'all know that? Some of y'all parents are in the same. Some of y'all parents and grandparents are in that position. Ain't got a pot to piss in, yet you up here voting Democrat. I'm not saying voting Republican is the answer because it ain't. Voting, period. Again, here, the guy that asked me what's my solution. Let me show you what the solution is. You see this? It says economics on the bottom, politics in the middle, social, which means society at the top. What's at the bottom, people? Economics. Because without that, you can't make this or this work. See, smart black men and women know this. See, the brothers and sisters that know this are the ones that go out there and build black businesses. The rest of us who know this support those black businesses, economics. Because when you go out here and jump to this level and you don't have this, what happens? Pew. You want a solution, dog? Here's your solution right here. You can't, look, every group that has come to this country built this first. Then they built this. Then they built this. Okay? If you don't have a black business, if you don't support black businesses, you can't jump up here and vote and think you can vote your way out of white supremacy and subjugation. You see that? Ew. That's my solution. That's why you can't listen to your old ass grandmama if your granddaddy is still around. You can't listen to none of them old niggas. They have no solutions for you other than go, hey, grandson, go out there and vote. Then you go out there and vote, and that same black candidate that ran around the neighborhood asking for your vote, as soon as that nigga got in office or her office, they said, fuck you. Every last one of them do that to us. Obama did it every time he got elected. Then he had the nerve to stand up there on his, sit up there on his monkey ass and tell us to vote for Hillary so she could keep his legacy alive. And then Donald Trump got in there, and the first 2 weeks of his presidency, he wiped out Obama's legacy just like that. Because he didn't leave a legacy. What, singing Al Green songs? Telling black men to pull their pants up? Is that his legacy? Fuck out of here. See, if I got on here telling black folks to vote, if I got on here telling black folks to take their ass to church, and that was all they had to do, it'd be 10,000 people on Facebook listening to me right now. 10,000 of them. But when you tell black folks the truth, they run like the cowards they are. Christmas time is going to be here in less than 2 months. How many of you stupid niggas are going to be out there on Black Friday blowing your financial legacy? Huh? How many of y'all going to be out there blowing all your goddamn money online? Whether you spend all that money on Amazon.com or you spend it at Target and Walmart running your monkey ass around all day. You still blowing your children's inheritance on that stupid shit. That's one thing I hated about being married. I got to sit up there and listen to my ex-wife talk, sit up here and boo-hoo and cry because some aunt or some uncle or some cousin didn't buy her something, and yes, she bought them a gift. Is that what Christmas is about? If that's what Christmas is about, that must be why I don't celebrate it no more. Plus, it ain't nothing but some commercial bullshit that was made up anyway. Ain't no spiritual significance in Christmas. Fuck out of here. That's why I tell black folks, if you really care that much about Christmas, why don't you do some research on or how they built up Christmas and what Christmas was really about, which was about homosexuality, men giving other men gifts. That's what the Roman men did. They got drunk and then they went up, and then they gave each other's gifts, then they went up in each other. Look up Saturnarius or something like that. Now, I might be pronouncing it wrong. You better ask questions about where you get these holidays from, just like Halloween. You better look up Vlad the Impaler, because that's where a lot of that stuff come from. Read up on Vlad the Impaler and what he used to do to people. And you got your dumb ass out there running around with a mask on and a dish towel on your back talking about you Superman. Dumb niggas. Niggas love to be in the dark. I ain't celebrating a goddamn thing other than waking up in the morning, thanking God for that. Everybody else can kiss my entire rusty black old ass. I wish Target and Walmart would get $1 out of me on Black Friday and beyond. Do you guys know that the retail ETF, which is the retail industrial average for the Dow Jones, did you know that most of these retail outlets don't make their quarterly and annual projections until Black Friday and after? Did y'all know that? That's a make or break period for them. They can be in the red from January to the whatever day November Black Friday is. And then right after that, they earnings just go through the roof. And you know how it gets that way? Know how it gets that way? Black money. Black people are the #1 consumers in this country in clothing and accessories, toys, but not video games. Although you video villain niggas, you nigga nerds, y'all blow y'all money on that shit. Man, they got the new Call of Duty movie, new Call of Duty game out, man. I'm gonna go get them shits. Niggas sitting up in a dark apartment with a 32-inch TV talking about nigga ain't even got a couch in his apartment. Just sitting on the floor doing this shit. Getting a thumb workout. And you wonder why you black men, young black men and women are feeling the crunch of 60, 70 years of buck dancing niggas, niggatry, and fuckery. That's why every time I do one of these broadcasts, I always lose about 3 or 4 Facebook friends because these niggas can't take this work. They can't take this work, dog. They can't take it. They can't get this work. See, you young cats, y'all can take it. These old niggas can't take this work. They can't get this work, dog. These old niggas can't take this work. Because, see, if I went on here talking about getting with Becky and all of that type of shit, nigga, I have 50,000 old niggas my age watching me on Facebook Live right now. But when you tell black people the truth to their face, they don't like it. Now, if I was white, they listen. If I was Tim Wise, they would listen. They see, black folks have been raised to be disapproving of other black men and women, unless they're talking that Christianity bullshit. See, I don't have a problem talking shit about religion because I grew up in the church. I ain't one of these niggas never been. It'd be one thing if I didn't grow up in the church and I'd be on here telling you not to practice Christianity. I ain't telling you to do nothing. If you want to go straight to hell behind them white supremacists, you go ahead. But I ain't wasting my time on Sunday dealing with symbolism because that's all religion is symbolism. You doing a symbol. We do this in remembrance of the Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost. Get the fuck out of here. Did y'all see 60 Minutes Sunday? They was talking about them priests and how these priests be getting protected by police and prosecutors. Man, you got bishops up here protecting them priests, and they got decades and decades and decades of internal documents talking about who booty hole they mess with, whose booty hole they've been playing with, what they did, and what punishment they received by the bishop. And you gonna sit up there and take your black ass down there to mass? Man, get your stupid ass out of here. Black people need their asses kicked, man. I remember when I bought a house one time that was down the street from this silly ass nigga that was Catholic. Man, I got to go to mass on Sunday. I'm like, you fat, stupid nigga. You talking about immorality and unethical behavior. That's a one-stop shop. in Christian churches and the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. It's a one-stop shop for immorality and unethical behavior. And nobody says anything, but they get outraged off of one or two little incidences instead of saying the whole lot is bad. Nobody wants to admit that the entire Catholic Church need to be torn down. It's $1 trillion operation. They're talking about, oh man, Amazon is the biggest corporation in the world, the $1 trillion corporation. Apple's $1 trillion corporation. Let me tell you something. If Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, falls down and on the side of the toilet, going to the bathroom, and that shit gets out to the media, Apple's going to go from having $1 trillion valuation to losing $300 or $400 billion in one day. Did you know that? That ain't even real money. That's that bullshit that they tell you on CNBC about these valuations on these companies. That shit is so inflated. Look at Facebook. Look at all the trouble Facebook been in the past year with all these little bots, that they're little programming bots that they put on, that they have on Facebook. You have to understand something. 70 years ago, the Russians said, we are going to invade America. They said that shit. 70 years ago, they started pumping billions of dollars into technology, computers, space. I saw a documentary on this shit. It was either on PBS or on the History Channel. Them Russians got busy, dog. After World War II, they got busy. They said, we are going to invade America. They got, I don't know how many criminal enterprises running in this country. They invaded Hollywood. You better ask somebody. And the Russians are involved in that, in Bill Cosby's son's death. See, the reason why you can't get it, see, you got to understand, my generation and my father's generation, they're done. Them niggas are done. Them niggas are done. They're done. Because the only way you're going to survive today in America is by a gun and your wallet. That's the only way you're going to survive. Black economics, Black empowerment, and that goddamn gun you got sitting under your bed. That's it. If you don't have that mindset and you don't have that protection in your home, don't let one of these white supremacists run up on you. Amber Geiger, that former Dallas police officer, ran up in that brother's apartment. He was minding his own goddamn business and murdered him. Don't think that shit won't happen to you or me. Okay? Don't think it won't happen to us, because it could. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it could. Are you prepared? No, you're not. Because even if you do have a weapon, do you know how to use it? Because it takes, let me tell you something. Your heart is going to be beating so fast when you get ready to shoot that gun. See, it's easy to shoot at a target that don't shoot back. When you're shooting at somebody, a living, breathing human being, most of you have never been in a situation like that before. I have. I have. So I have firsthand experience and knowledge on what to do and how to handle my breathing. You, on the other hand, do not. If you get a gun, you need to go to the range whether it's indoor or outdoor, and learn how to shoot properly. You got to be able to use cover and concealment. You can't just be standing out there in your goddamn living room, talking about pow, pow, pow. Because these white supremacists, police officers and non-police officers, they're always training. The mayonnaise militia is always training. We, on the other hand, is telling me, I'm going to put on the breastplate of righteousness. Because that's what white Jesus told me to do. See, black folks have this sexualized, perverted view of a white Jesus and a white God. So when they look at white people, well, look at Caucasian people, because they're not white. White is a lifestyle, not a race. When they look at Caucasians, they have this complex like, Daddy, Mommy. That's how black people act. That's why you see them Nick Cheap, them buck dancing, cheese eating niggas sitting behind Trump. Look at some of them rallies. You see them old buck dancing coons sitting up there, sitting behind Trump's ass. Fuck out of here. Yeah, some of them are actors. They've been hired. Sure, they're actors. Most of them are, but not all of them. You booger nose niggas. Talking about what's your solution? Have y'all, man, let me ask y'all something. Have y'all listened to that show that Jason Black posted about 2 weeks ago where he was being interviewed by shit, man, that dude out of DC. Damn, I forgot his name. Did y'all hear that interview on the Black Authorities channel? And you had all these old niggas calling in, talking that slave shit, talking that civil rights shit, and that religious shit. Did y'all ever hear it? Man, it is embarrassing. The host was so embarrassed that he said to Jason, he said, man, because one young brother called and he said, man, I don't know what it is tonight, but the morons are just coming out of the walls and the carpet. It was old nigga after old nigga calling up, talking dumbass shit. Niggas calling in, talking about voting, talking about religion. And Jason just shut them niggas down. He was like, just like this dude asked me, talking about, what's your solution? This old nigga called, talking about, man, what's your solution then, brother? He was like, sir, I'm not even going to dignify that question. I ain't even going to dignify it. I'm not going to dignify it. Because if I got to give you if I got to answer that question, you really don't want to hear it anyway. If you don't know the solution, you're in the dark anyway. You got niggas sitting around here. I remember I told y'all when about 20 years ago, I told y'all when I first moved up there to Minneapolis, that you had these dusty niggas up there in Wisconsin and Minnesota. You had these dusty niggas up there in Wisconsin and Minnesota bragging about hustling Caucasian women for a couple $100. Man, she let me live there for free. I don't even have to work. Them niggas ain't saying that now. Hey, them niggas ain't saying that up in Minnesota right now, dog. Or they ain't saying that now because them Beckys done got hip to that bullshit. They done got, because them niggas done burnt them hoes up there. You good luck trying to find any American woman around this country that you can lay up and not do nothing. See, that's why a lot of you niggas are back at home with your aunties and grandmamas, because you probably went out there trying to live off abroad. And them hoes shut your ass down, didn't they? There is no way to escape Black empowerment. You're either going to do it and live, or you're going to not do it and die. It's as simple as that. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. See, black men and women like me, we're going to separate ourselves over here. And all the coons and all the what's your solution niggas, all the old niggas from the old civil rights movement, you're going to have all them niggas over here. You're going to have all the church niggas over here. You're going to have all the buck dancing, Uncle Tom, Aunt Jemima niggas over here. And those are going to be the first people that the white supremacists start picking off. You're going to be the first people they go after. Why? Because you're going to be exposed. You're going to be out in the open just like this, because you believe that all you got to do is click your heels 3 times and say, Jesus, protect me. I'm going to put on my breastplate of righteousness. And then white supremacists going to be like, oh, these niggas really don't understand, do they? Pop, 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 pop. Right in your ass. Mr. Breastplate of righteousness. Come on, Facebook. We up to 25. We up to 25. Come on, man. Let's at least get 30, man. God damn, niggas. We just need one more person to donate $5 to make it $30. You cheap buck dancing niggas. God damn, man. If I told you if I told you niggas I was fundraising so I can buy video games, you niggas will be giving me you'd be giving me a whole paycheck. Make no goddamn sense, man. There is no way around Black empowerment, black women and men, black men, black women. There's no way around it. We're either going to work together and cut the shit, or we're going to die as individuals. That's what's on the table. Because they're not playing about smoking us. Yeah, they got us one at a time. They got Michael Brown. They got Tamir Rice. They got Eric Garner. They got, so many other countless black men, women, and children. Let me tell you something. If Caucasian people went out there and start shooting Jewish children, or they start shooting Hispanics children, there'll be gunfights in the streets. They shoot your children, you just sit back and sing "We Shall Overcome." Or you go and protest for maybe 3 days, and then after you get tired and you see ain't no money in the news media done packed their cameras away and left, then you back at home, fair check, and waiting for your Section 8 voucher. You back to the same old bullshit and fuckery. See, that's what happens. It's just like when I talk to people who are from St. Louis around that time when Michael Brown got killed. I had black folks saying, man, these niggas in St. Louis was acting a fucking fool. It had nothing to do with Michael Brown. These niggas was just out there acting like niggas. Them niggas, half them niggas, most of them niggas didn't even know why they were out there. See, that's us. Monstar 86. Thank you for your donation, brother. You donate all the time, man. These little sorry niggas that's out here on the fringes, listening to this, looking at this broadcast, sitting and smirking in the dark, waiting on responsible brothers and sisters like you to donate so they don't have to do shit. It's the responsibility shouldn't be on you. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, man. See, Monstar 86. These niggas out here are so irresponsible. They will go and spend every dollar after they pay if they even got an apartment or a room to rent. They will go and blow every last one of blow their money on bullshit. They'll be buying honey buns. They'll be at the strip club doing this shit, not getting no ass. Respect, brother, for sure. And they'll sit there and be like, man, it's up to Monstar 86 and Mr. McMillan and all the other brothers to donate because, man, I spent my money at the strip club. I spent my money on honey buns. I ain't got no money, eyes. But again, you'll be getting gamed up and them sorry niggas will be in a lurch. Because here's what I'm gonna start doing. And if you notice, that's what I started doing. What I do after we do these live streams, I'm talking to my YouTube people. What I'm gonna start doing is locking down these videos. And only the people who donated that day is gonna get the link to that particular live stream. So you'll have access to it, Monstar 86. The rest of these niggas won't. Well, outside of the guys that donated, the rest of these niggas I'm gonna lock it down. And I did that with the last 3 Players Circle, the Players Circle podcast. I locked every last one of them down because I'm sick of these freeload niggas. Black folks have a freeloader living like a roach mentality. That's why niggas in Chicago and LA and all these other major cities, when you see the bootleg nigga out there selling DVDs and shit like that, you have no problem buying stuff from him. Why? Because you're a bootleg roach living ass nigga anyway. I had a young nigga one time. Me and him, he tried to explain to me why buying bootleg shit and living like a bootleg roach nigga was an acceptable lifestyle. And I said, you know what, nigga, I ain't gonna keep arguing with you because it's obvious you don't see the error of your ways. It's obvious you don't think there's anything wrong with living like a bootleg roach nigga. But you have to understand, blue collar and white collar black folks, you'd be surprised how many of all of us have that mentality. It ain't just black brothers that's barely getting by or working low wage jobs that are living like roaches. It's white collar cats that are college educated and live that kind of lifestyle. And it's not necessarily quantified in how much they make or whether or not they live. You can look at their home and determine whether these people are living like a roach. Because you can't really quantify, you can't really measure it by material items and or where they live or how they live. No, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. It's how they behave. is how you can measure whether or not you're living with that. You got to understand, 99.9% of black folks, especially a lot of these people who are on my Facebook side, 99.9% of these black folks don't support black-owned businesses, and they don't care to. They measure how successful they are based on the being able to go to the Gucci store, being able to go to the Prada store, being able to buy red bottoms, being able to buy a $60,000 Acura or a Honda Accord or a Benz or a $70,000, $80,000 Benz. That's how they measure success. And you can best believe that 99.9% of these people don't even have $5 in the bank. They don't even have $5 in their checking account. But they got all these toys. That's why whenever I meet women and they start talking that bullshit about, hey, when we gonna go on a cruise? Or when we gonna go to Vegas? I'll be like, when you take us. That'd be the last time I hear from that bitch. I ain't taking your ass nowhere until I get to know you. Because I ain't taking somebody to Vegas I really don't want to be around. And I have been stuck in hotel rooms with women I don't want to be with. That ain't a good feeling. Yeah, I got the draws, but they ruined it with their funky ass attitude. Black people have no responsibility to each other. That's one of the problems that we deal with. And that comes from the civil rights generation. See, each generation teaches the next generation black empowerment or lack thereof. Some of you are learning that from me. Yeah, I live in a damn near all white area. But when I go down to Portland, I look for Jamaican restaurants. Now oh Lord, the one black restaurant I was going to, they're so pathetic that I stopped going there. I mean, how do black people fuck? And it ain't the food. Ain't nothing wrong with the food. But the menu is very limited. The restaurant is very run down. And they got the nerve to have white people running the fucking place. That's the number one reason why I stopped going in there. How the fuck you gonna call yourself a black-owned restaurant? You can't find black men to run your restaurant or black women to run your restaurant. That's bullshit. I'm not paying no white guy's salary. I can go to Applebee's and do that. See, black folks, you have to understand that sick, self-hating mentality. See, when you start telling black folks to get off buying the Prada and all that dumb shit, going to Barney's in New York, stop spending their money on stupid shit like that, stop buying houses you can't afford, stop buying cars you can't afford to drive. When you start telling black folks to stop doing that, black folks they like, man, I ain't trying to hear this nigga. Now, hey, Iceman, when you start talking about fucking with chasing white girls again, let me know so I can tune in. Otherwise, I ain't trying to hear none of this black empowerment shit. That's black people's mentality. Male and female. Look at Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop. Look how dumb them niggas are. And most of them got a little paper. But look how they behave. They look like idiots. These people are idiots. I have never seen such dumb ass black people in my. I thought dumb niggas was just in my family. I seriously, that's naive of me to think. I used to think that way. I thought the only dumb niggas was in my family. extended and immediate family members. I didn't realize that there were more dumb niggas out here outside my family. Well, I know they're loosely scripted. What I'm saying is, it's black fuckery. Whether it's scripted or unscripted, it's black fuckery. And it's detrimental. It is fodder. You know who mainly watches that garbage? White supremacists watch that shit. They watch that shit. They love that shit. You think niggas love that shit? White folks love and hip hop and basketball wives. They love that silly dumbass shit. It's actually loosely scripted. It's situationally scripted. They put them in a situation, and then from there, the fuckery ensues. That's really what it is. As long as you're talking about voting, as long as you're talking about Bill Clinton is the first black president, as long as you're talking about Obama was the best president we ever had, as long as you're telling black women that the best thing for them to do is get their shoe game up, tell black men, hey, go out there, chase them Beckys, man. Chase them Beckys. Go out there and chase Maria and them. Long as you talking that, you'll have 20 million people watching your live stream. But as soon as you start talking some sense, niggas be like, oh, let me find something else. Is Love and Hip Hop on? Oh, is Love and Hip Hop on? Is Basketball Wives on? I can't look at Intelligent Black Thought. Oh, no. That I can't look at that. Black folks don't want to hear nothing about black empowerment. And it ain't just black women. There's a lot of black men who don't want to hear that shit either. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I used to be sniggling about pussy talking about pussy all the time, I had so many family members calling me every day. Man, what you doing, cuz? What's up, cuz? You think them niggas be calling me now? Especially the ones that's on Facebook that have seen these live streams. They don't call me no more, and I don't call them. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't need you. Them niggas don't call me no more because I don't want to talk about pussy. I don't want to talk about women. I'm like, how we gonna get this money, nigga? Oh man, I gotta go. I got something I gotta do, man. I'm like, yeah, all right, nigga. All right, nigga. Oh, I got something I gotta do, cuz. I'm like, nigga. You full of shit ass nigga. You just full of shit. That's what that is. But you know what? People might say that them young brothers and sisters that went to the White House, who are wearing the Make America Great hats, people might sit here and call them sellouts and coons and mammies and all that kind of stuff. But what you should pay attention to though is the fact that they're crazy enough, not necessarily crazy, but they are bold enough to get behind a white supremacist. That's how bad it is out here. They would rather follow a white supremacist down a rabbit hole than to keep following these John Lewis civil rights loser types. That you should pay attention to. Don't let that get lost on you, player. These young brothers and sisters are sick and tired of hearing about going. They don't want to go to church. I was looking at something online. I was looking at an article online, and it said that church attendance amongst young black males and females is at an all-time low. Why? Because they know church ain't shit. They know religion is symbolism and it's worthless to them. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. These young brothers and sisters want to know how they get their weight up financially. They don't want to hear nothing about that old pie in the sky. I'm gonna get my reward when I die bullshit. They saw how that shit didn't do nothing for grandmama and them. They saw how it didn't do nothing for their mamas. And now that they have gone to college and graduated or got out of high school, they like, shit, y'all didn't pass no resources to me. You mean to tell me I got to work at Foot Locker? I got to go work at Target? That's the best you can do for me? You didn't pass me any resource. I didn't inherit any resources. I got to go out here and work for Foot Locker? I got to work for UPS? Get the fuck out of here. That's why they going over there following Trump. And until you give them something substantial, you give them something tangible that they can, and intangible, that they can use to turn into some resources for themselves, they don't want to hear nothing about that civil rights bullshit because they know, they see the TV, they see how John Lewis is up there caping for them damn burglars breaking into our country south of the goddamn border. Like some old liberal, some old liberal white supremacist politician gonna get on one of these shows talking about the president is talking about, you know, he's going to send the military down there, which he can do because that's a national security issue. See, them, for them, you know, they've been interviewing some of these so-called caravan motherfuckers, and they so fucking bold. You had one Honduran woman talking about they're going to come to the United States and Trump ain't going to stop them. All right now. All right. Hey, what'd I say? When an old nigga like me point at you and say, all right, man. All right now. All right, man. You know something fucked up getting ready to happen, right? They are well within their these poor ass motherfuckers ain't even got a pot to piss in. We got a pot to piss in at least. They don't even have that. And then they still talking shit. Walking up to this motherfucker on foot. Talking about Trump can't stop them from coming over here. Are you fucking serious? Bring your ass up here and see what happened. That is a national security risk. Let me tell you something. There ain't a country in the developed world who won't shoot your ass at the border. Try sneaking into Spain and see what happened to your ass. Try sneaking into Germany and see won't they shoot your ass. If they don't at least shoot you, they're going to beat the fuck out of your ass. They're going to make you wish you hadn't snuck in their country. And then when you heal in the hospital and they convict your ass of a crime, they're going to send your ass right back over here. We are the only country who has tolerated people breaking into their country. Wink, 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 wink. We the only ones tolerate that shit. Then you got some dirty ass, fucking broke ass, stinking ass, fucking immigrant talking shit. Talking about how we're going to come over there anyway. Trump can't stop us. Bitch can't even speak English. The Texas National Guard is already down there. The New Mexico National Guard is already on their part of the border. Now, the active duty troops are going to be backing them up. But if let me tell you something, Trump can legally order smoking their ass. because the Border Patrol already been doing it. This country ain't never been about proper immigration. That's why these people are so emboldened to keep pulling this shit. And I remember, and this one white woman on TV, on the news, she said, well, let me just tell you this. They don't have to put, they don't even have to put Border Patrol on the border if they cut their welfare off. All they got to do is cut that off. Stop letting these motherfuckers come over here having these anchor babies. Stop giving them jobs. If they cut all that out, you ain't even got to put nobody on the border. They won't bring their ass over here. And that's true. That's why you know Trump is full of shit. If he was that serious about keeping people out this country, they wouldn't still be able to come over here and get on welfare. He is too slow at cutting this stuff off. Yeah, they're cutting stuff off. They just announced today that they are announcing that anchor baby shit ain't gonna fly no more. Did you guys know that if you come over to this country illegally, that you cannot own a gun? So if you live in an apartment complex in Sancho and them, you see them with a gun, and you know they're not a citizen of this country, all you gotta do is call the police and say Sancho got a gun. It is a misdemeanor for them to be in possession it's a misdemeanor to come into this country illegally. That's a misdemeanor. If they get so much of a parking ticket, they can be deported. Those laws have been on the books before Obama. They just never been used until Trump got in there. Oh, with them instituting instituting them tariffs, they tearing China's ass up. But you have to understand, the people who are really getting hurt are these white fat cats who have started businesses over there in China. They're the ones getting hurt. Now they want to sit up here and threaten, oh, well, if you enact these tariffs, we're going to be paying $20 for a tomato. That's a lie. First of all, ain't nobody going to pay $5 for a banana. You can best believe if they start charging $5 for a tomato, you can best believe when you go to the store tomorrow, there'll be some yellow ass rotted bananas sitting up there. So don't even listen to that dumb ass talk. That's scare tactics. The market will readjust and you may pay a higher price, but it ain't going to be that much higher because they know people ain't going to pay it. If you were buying a whole bunch of bananas, if a bunch of bananas, like for you, if you bought a bunch of bananas, 6 bananas, and you paid 48 cents a pound for it, if they raise that shit to $1.50 and that ain't organic bananas, I guarantee you will be a no banana eating motherfucker. So they don't need to pull that. They don't need to try that. Talk about, well, if we don't have these immigrants picking this lettuce, a bag of romaine lettuce will be $5. You go ahead and raise it to $5 and see if I buy it. Go ahead. Please do. And you ain't going to buy it either. Don't let these people fool you. They ain't got no power over you. You're going to let these people break into our country all this time, and all of a sudden now you're going to do something about it? Okay, Trump, if you're going to send troops to the border, give them the order to shoot. Shoot on sight, goddammit. You such a badass, tell them to shoot motherfuckers then. Because legally they can do it. Because they can consider you an enemy combatant. I guarantee, try to break, you can't even break into Mexico. So how the Pope, man, get the fuck out of here. Corrupt as Mexico is? You can't even break into Mexico. How the fuck we can't break in your country, but you can break in ours? What kind of fucking policy is that? What kind of foreign policy is that? See, that's why you can't listen to people when they start talking about I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative. You can't listen to that shit. They are two sides to the same goddamn coin. All of them are white supremacists. And all of them, whether they liberals or conservatives, they adhere to white supremacy. If you don't believe me, watch their actions. Fuck what comes out of their pie hole. You tune in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. I'm not telling you to believe what Trump says. I'm not telling you to believe what liberals say. I'm not telling you to believe what conservatives say. What I'm telling you is watch their behavior, because that is what's going to tell you whether or not you're dealing with somebody that has your best interest at heart. If Trump is such a badass and he's going to send these active duty troops down there, then what you should be saying on social media, okay, Mr. Trump, shoot them motherfuckers on sight then. Shoot them. You're already killing black people slow through economic deprivation. Let's see you kill them on sight. Badass motherfucker. Badass. Go ahead, kill him. First of all, legally they can do it, but the optics are pretty bad. But not this. I'm not gonna sit up, but let me say this here. Let me add to that. America does not care how they look in the international community. They've been killing black folks for 500 years in this country, and in some very inhumane ways, doing some very inhumane things to our men, women, and children. So you know that America cares nothing about how they look in the international community. Now, Merkel and Macron and all these leaders of these Caucasian nations, oh, they'll talk shit on TV, but in private, they're like, we don't give a fuck, because America is the engine that drives the world's economy. And it doesn't matter what we do, as long as we making their pension plans money, as long as we're making driving their Wall Street, which all of their Wall Streets are connected to ours. You don't believe me? Watch CNBC or Bloomberg News. I don't watch Bloomberg. Bloomberg It's too much. They talk too much about that international market shit. I don't want to hear about that shit. I want to know about what's going on over here on Wall Street. I don't fuck with Fox News, so I don't watch Fox Business. Plus, I can't stand them assholes on there anyway. But CNBC, I can sort of tolerate them. Although their commentators are full of shit. They're just on there spewing bullshit. It's just like I told somebody at the VA today. Look, I ain't listening to nothing you say. I'm looking at what you do. I could care less. If you care that much about veterans, you'd be doing a better job. Now, wouldn't you? So don't talk that I care about veterans bullshit to me. Because I'm going to end up pissing you off. Because I'm going to tell you that you talking bullshit. You can't listen to what people say. That's something my parents told me a long time ago. Don't ever listen to nothing nobody say. Look at their actions. That's why you got these black folks that want to sit around here and listen to Caucasian people say, I'm not racist. If you got to tell somebody you ain't racist, you racist. You hear a lot of that up here. Oh, I'm not racist. Yeah, so why you doing this dine and dash shit with black men then? What are you talking about? I'm not dining and dashing. Well, it seems like every time I talk to you, you talking about going meeting at some fucking restaurant, which is why I ain't met you at a restaurant. I'm not paying for your, I don't want to have to explain to you why I'm not paying for your meal. I'm not explaining shit to you. I'm just not going to show up. It ain't that serious to me. Go get a white man and pull that dine and dash shit. See, like I said, you have to understand something. It's just like, well, that's how you see the way other races of women hustle black men. That's why you know black men are full of shit. Most black men are full of shit. Because even when I'm out whining and dining myself, I see trifling ass black men sitting in a restaurant with their little white wife or their white girlfriend, or if you are observant enough, you can tell that this dude probably ain't even hit it yet. He's trying to date this chick. And all she is there for is the free chicken wrap and the free soda and the free alcoholic beverage. And as soon as she get up from there, she's going home to her white boyfriend. While your dumb black ass is driving down the street. Hey, you got this white girl. You ain't got shit. That bitch don't even like black men. Anybody will sit in front of you and get a free meal and a free drink. Like I said, it's do or die time, man. We in dire times. And you still got black men out and black women out here buck dancing for butter biscuits. Y'all been pulling this shit with the donations 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to tell y'all right now, come Saturday, if y'all start off the day not donating, listen to me. I want you to hear what I say. If we don't raise $100 within an hour or less than an hour, I'm pulling the plug on this motherfucker. Do you understand me? Y'all, you are not going to sit here and continue to get gamed up for free. If I have to just do a live stream for the folks who are donating every week, then that's what we'll do. the rest of y'all can go fuck a duck. You understand me? If you guys pull this shit Saturday, we're done. Okay? Because you're going back to your old ways of being stingy, cheap sons of bitches, self-hating sons of bitches. You're going back to that shit, I noticed. And you're expecting the same black men who care enough to get educated, like my man Monstar 86, Mr. McMillan, and a couple of you, a couple of the rest of you. I don't want to say your real names over the air because I don't, you know, here's what I want you guys to do that donate regularly. Put your username that's on, that you have subscribed to the Mad Voodoo Man channel. When you instead of writing all that stuff about, you know, the book bags and all that, you don't have to write that every time. Write in there that, hey, this is such and such, so I know who you are. Because some of you guys do that. You'll write in there, you'll have your real name, how much you donated, and then it'll say, hey, this is such and such. This is my username on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know who this brother is. Okay, cool. Can you guys, starting Saturday, can you guys do that for me? Those of you who donate every week, put your username in that box so I know who you are. Because we're going to cut this freeloader shit out. We're going to cut this shit out. Okay? We're going to cut this shit out. Because see, what happens is all these freeloader niggas, they'll go somewhere else. Then we'll go back to doing it where we open, everybody, because see, for Blog Talk Radio, Saturday when we do Blog Talk Radio, we do the triple cast, you guys are the only ones that have the call-in number. Remember that. We're going to start the show promptly at 2 p.m. Okay? So make sure you have Blog Talk Radio set up on your browser. So as soon as we get ready to go on the air, you can call in and be waiting. Okay? So everybody that donated, for sure, everybody that donated today, you already got the number. It's just a lot of times some people don't know when I'm on the air. Okay? But I try to do a second show. The reason why I've been doing a Tuesday show in a row, 2 Tuesdays in a row, is because there's so much stuff going on that I need to talk about it. Y'all see where I'm going with this? There's so much stuff going on that I need to talk about it right then or I'll forget. Because on Saturday, by the way, this is to the Facebook Live crowd too. The Player Circle podcast is all dating. That's all we talk about. Now, we do talk about politics. We do talk about economics. We do talk about societal implications that drive dating or affect dating. But the main central premise of the Player Circle podcast is so men and women can chop up game. We all can get educated by the transfer of information, me to you or you to me. And it goes like this in a circle. Okay? So if you guys are not familiar, this is going to be our 4th Saturday that we've been doing the Player Circle podcast. Listen to me. 2 p.m. Pacific time this Saturday. Okay? I might just leave it at 2 p.m. That way you can expect it at 2 p.m. I think that's what I'll do. But I've been trying, noon here, 1 p.m., 3 p.m. I've been trying to find what is going to be the right time to catch people, a good cross section of people. because sometimes we'll do the live stream and it takes an hour before people find out I'm even online. They're like, hey, Ice, I didn't even know you was broadcasting. So this way, you're sitting right here before me tonight. We're going to do a show at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Now, again, you may be Mountain, Central, or Eastern time. Understand that you need to make that adjustment yourself. If it's 2 p.m. Pacific time and your Central time, then you need to go on Blog Talk Radio or go on Facebook or go on YouTube at 4 o'clock, not 2 o'clock. You understand? Make the time zone adjustment you need to make so you're online on time. And we need, in those of you who already have the guest call in number for Blog Talk Radio, you need to have that handy. I can't keep sending that out. You already got it in an email last week. So you guys need to know that you have that number already so you can call in, because we need to start getting, people need to hear people's voices. Now, I've had people send me email talking about, hey, I'll call in. I need the number, and I send it to them. These guys ain't even called in. We need to stop bullshitting. If I take the time to send you the number, and your lazy ass don't even call in, come on, player. You need to quit bullshitting. The old guard, this civil rights generation, these black men and women have failed us. My generation has failed you. These young brothers and sisters are tired of the bullshit. They're tired. They don't want to hear nothing about religion. They don't want to hear nothing about going up a yonder. They don't want to hear nothing about go get you a job. A lot of these young brothers and sisters are opening up businesses. There's some in Atlanta. A lot of these, like I said, everybody don't have that slave mentality. Just because you have, everybody else has it. There are some black men and women who think the way I think, and they're tired of the bullshit. And they have gone out here and exercised their right to be a business owner, unlike you. Because they don't want to work for a company for 3 years and then get downsized, and now they are ass out with nothing. Because the first thing black people do when they get a job is, as soon as we get that first paycheck, we start tricking our money off on dumb shit. We don't save any money. We don't feed the pig. We don't feed the pig. We trick our money off on red bottoms and Louis Vuitton and all that silly shit. You got white people that make $500,000 a year who don't buy that shit. Right now, you can find a Caucasian person out here making $500,000 a year and they driving a Camry instead of a Bentley. Your black ass make 80. Your black ass barely make 90,000 a year, and you driving a Bentley. What does that say about you? But you have no money saved up, and when you lose that job, now your car getting repoed, your house is getting foreclosed on. You got to start selling all kind of stuff out your garage, because how else are you going to eat? And black people don't recover from getting laid off and getting fired like other races, like Caucasian people do. We don't just, If we get canned on a job, we don't just go into another job that pay the same amount of money and have the same level of prestige. When we get fired or we get laid off or downsized, we usually have to take an entry-level position. That's what my dad did. When my dad got he forced retired on his on the job that he had my whole childhood, he had to take an entry-level job, making $6 an hour, working at another factory. Okay? And my mom even said it. She said, see, black folks can't go to the same level job when they get fired. You got to take an entry-level position. That's straight up white supremacy right there. That's why you ought to have your own economy. You ought to have an economic safe zone so you can, hey, bro, hire me, man. I need a gig. Okay. Instead, all we got and what we got in black neighborhoods as black businesses, greasy rib shacks that don't make no money, greasy ass soul food restaurants that don't make no money, tax preparation businesses, credit repair companies. That's another ripoff. That's all you see. That's the only kind of businesses that you see in the black neighborhoods. It might be a couple of other ones that I haven't mentioned, but for the most part, that's what you usually see. For the most part, that's what you see. For the most part, that's what you see. That's a problem. Because those kinds of businesses don't build jobs. They don't create jobs. Those of you nigga nerds out here, if you know how to code, then you know how to design games. That's what you need to be doing, that kind of stuff. You want to be doing your own, making your own money, then you should be designing your own games instead of sitting up here going to try to get a job at EA Sports. It's in the game. You want to find out how racist most of these corporations are. Look at their website and look at all the white faces on their executive management or on their board of directors. Oh, they might have one Indian that think he white on there, or they might have a Hispanic that think he white, or she thinks she's white, and they're just ass kissers. If you think for 1 minute that you are so smart and Caucasian people are so dumb that you can pull a Machiavellian move and get a job at these white corporations and come up in there and fool them and come up in there and get rich off of them, nigga, you are a fucking fool. And you'd be surprised how many black folks think they can pull that. They think these Caucasian folks are stupid. That's why they don't hire black people. That's why most of the time they don't hire black men, because they know if they give you a job that pays a lot of money and you ain't a coon, you're going to be in there dicking down all the white girls. They don't want you to be, they want you to be a pariah. They don't mind if they hire you to work in maintenance. They don't have a problem hiring you as the custodian, dumping out trash out of people's waste baskets and wiping down people's tables, people's desks. They don't mind that, but they don't want you as an accountant working up in there. They don't want you as an operations manager making $100,000 a year. Not unless you a coon. Now, if you a coon and a buck dancing coon at that, oh, they don't mind hiring you. Because I've had white bosses who have said to me, well, you showed me one thing in the interview, and then after I hired you, you seem like a totally different person. I'm sitting to myself, I'm just sitting there. Yeah, that's what you get, motherfucker. Oh, by the way, I quit. You think, look, did y'all see the hoodies that Kanye is making that got the Confederate flag on the left arm? Let me tell you something about that fool. Kanye gonna fuck around and some niggas gonna end up fucking him up. I'm telling you. Some niggas gonna end up whooping his ass. Because he crossed the line a while back. He already crossed the line a while back, but he's really pushing it. Ladies and gentlemen, go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down to the donate button and support the cause. Players Circle this Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Blog Talk Radio. Those of you who have received the guest call-in number, you already have it. Before we get out of here, hit the like button on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the like button on this live stream. Want to tell my YouTube audience, look, I'm not going to stop fundraising. What's going to end up happening is this is going to be a pay-per-view live stream only. If y'all sit up, if we don't raise $100 on Saturday, you're not going to be able to come back and look at this video. Because I'm going to put it on, I'm going to set it to private. No, I'm going to set it to unlisted. And everybody that donated is going to get a link to it. All the rest of you freeloading, cheese-eating niggas get nothing. Just like you give nothing, you will get nothing. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Holla at your boy.